Good morning. I think we're live. Good morning. Thanks for joining me here today. My name is Adrienne Bradley, and I am the host of the Daycare Q&A Show, and thank you for joining me this morning here for the show. This is our first show of 2024, and it is episode 26. So, like I said, welcome to a new year. I was watching the Today Show earlier, and they were saying today is kind of the unofficial last day to say Happy New Year, but I don't know about that, but I will say Happy New Year to you. We'll be getting into what's going on for you in the new year. I mean, honestly, I'm really excited about the new year. I really am, but I feel like I'm already getting behind. I mean, I don't have my calendar set up on the wall yet. I don't have my tree is not down yet. I did promise my husband I would take the tree down over this week. So I figure, and actually today's Wednesday, so I don't know, but by Sunday the tree will be down. I actually got it up late this year, so a few more days is okay, I think. And I keep trying to explain to him every year that as a child, my mother would leave the tree up longer. She said that we should leave it up until Three Kings Day, and I was asking my family over the holidays if anyone still did that, and they did. So maybe that's my subliminal way to still get that in my own home. So anyway, if you are joining me for the first time, welcome. And if you are coming back, welcome back. And if you could just send me some hearts and likes so I can see you. I am going to do what I always do, is to keep my laptop open over here so that hopefully I can see any questions or any responses for anyone who joins me live here. And because for some reason on the desktop it is not that evident, so or at least not for me. So I have my laptop open. Let's hope that it stays connected. I've been having some Wi-Fi issues this week, but anyway, so I usually start off well, first of all, if you're joining me live, please, like I said, leave me some likes, some hearts and likes so I can say hi to you. And if you're catching this on replay, please do the same in the comments. Just say hi so I can say hi to you as well. So I start off every show with a little housekeeping, and this week I will tell you that I managed to trick the dogs and get them outside. I think they saw a squirrel, so I took advantage of it and left them out there for a few minutes. It's not raining now, and I think it doesn't look like it's going to rain anymore. It rained earlier, but anyway, so you won't hear them behind me. Secondly, I always mention that a bit of a disclaimer that any questions here that I address or we talk about are based on my opinion and my 20 years experience being a child care provider myself, or someone who was close to me or is close to me that has gone through something similar. And but I know that this is your business, and not everything works for everyone. And so if it works for you, great, groovy. If it doesn't, then leave it and move on. It's probably for somebody else. Okay, so take what works for you and leave the rest. Okay, we're just here, or I'm just here to give you maybe a different perspective on an issue that you might be dealing with, or that you might deal with in the future in your business. And because I was talking to somebody, I think recently, and I was saying, sometimes when we're in the midst of an issue, we can't see clearly. We can only see what's in front of us. You know what I mean? We can't see it from another angle, from someone else's opinion, from someone else's vantage point. And so That's what I'm trying to do here, is to give you a different outlook, different perspective, and yeah, just give you a different way of looking at something, so that maybe if you're dealing with something now, or if you do have to deal with something in the future, then maybe you can recall how you thought you would handle that when you heard it here. So that being said, let's see. Let's see. Okay. I almost always forget to say that if you are joining me live, or even if you're catching this on replay, if you have a question, please go ahead and put it in the chat. You don't have to wait to put it in next week or anything. Just put it in the chat or put it in the comments, and I will try and address it during the show if you're live, and if not, I will come back after the show and I'll address it then. Okay? And lastly, if you do have to leave early, I just want to remind you that the show is up. The replay of the show is on our YouTube channel, and there is a link to that in the comments or in the chat. So you can go over and you can pick up where you left off and catch the rest of the episode either later or whenever you have time. Okay? All right. And please, if you would leave me a thumbs up, that would be great. I hope I'm not going to get into a coughing fit this morning. Because we have some good questions to address today. So, let's see. First, let's see what's going on in the childcare universe today. Let's see. First off, the show is sponsored by the Provider Planner and Organizer. You can see over my shoulder the striped edition, and that is our luxury planner for childcare providers. And I just want to say that I know it's January and it's the new year. We're already here in 2024, but you can still start your year off great by getting your planner now. We've got them ready to ship up, ready to ship off. I can't talk today. Ship off. And the inventory is getting low. So if you are still in need of a planner, this would be a great planner for you to plan to accomplish what you have planned for both your personal and your business in 2024. So go ahead and click the link below, maybe after the show, not right now, but click the link below and check out the planner. It is a great planner, and it was created just for childcare providers. So I hope you go over and check that out. I will tell you that we just released a new version of the planner, and we're so excited about it, and it is a digital version. So you can actually use the Provider Planner and Organizer on your iPad, on your tablet, with like an app like GoodNotes. I think there's a few different apps, but GoodNotes is one of the most used, I guess, or recognizable, or whatever, app that you can use on your tablet with the planner. So yeah, go over and check that out. It is one of 4 versions that we have now. So we have both. We have the hardcover, the soft cover, the ebook, and the digital version now. And we're going to be releasing another version, and I'll tell you about that really soon, probably next week. All right, I was hoping we could announce it here today, but next week is probably the earliest we'll announce that. So yeah, and let's see, what else is going on? So right before the holidays, it wasn't last week, it was about 2 weeks ago, I wrote on the blog. By the way, I don't know if you know, I'm the author of the Thriving Childcare website and blog. And so right before the holidays, I wrote about doing an annual checkup on your childcare business. And actually, well, I hope you'll go over and read it. It is a pretty short read, but it's a good read, and it's very timely right now. Even in this beginning part of this year, or whenever you can maybe do it in January or something, to look back and see what worked in 2023, what didn't work, and what tweaks and changes you want to make. I know that typically all of us, especially this week of the year, we all are usually making resolutions, and that's actually become like a dirty word because it's almost doomed for failure when you say you're making resolutions. I think it's attached to not being really serious anymore. But so I like to use the word goals and business goals. So looking back and doing an annual check on what went right, what didn't go right in the previous year is a great way to kind of decide on what your goals for your business will be for this year. So go over and check it out. I left a link. I believe I left a link. If I didn't, I'll come back after the show and leave a link to that blog post. But go over and check it out. And I think there's a tool there that you can download to kind of ask yourself certain questions about your business. And yeah, so go over and check that out. I think it's a good thing for us to get in the habit of doing every year, if not more than once a year, at least once a year, right? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this morning we're going to get into some questions that were submitted earlier by other daycare owners. But before we do that, I just want to do something that I usually do every week, and that is to go to the provider planner and to look at the week that we're in to see if there's any fun observances or different days that we don't know about that we can maybe create a curriculum around, or even a fun activity, a project, maybe even a meal. So let's see what's going on this week. So I don't know if you know it or not, but today is National Drinking Straw Day. Now, I said before, I know that some of these sound a little out there, and my daughter accuses me all the time of making these things up, but no, this is an actual day. I mean, sometimes we don't think about the fact that somebody had to invent the things that we use and the things that we probably just take for granted. So someone invented the straw, the drinking straw, and today is National Drinking Straw Day. So I posted under the Provider Planner and Organizer on the page today 3 things about the drinking straw, and one of them was a project you could do with the kids today. So we all know about the I don't know, I guess it's a garland project where you could put string through a straw, and that was the project that was on there. But go over and check that out. And that sounds like something fun you might want to do with the kids. And then tomorrow is January 4th, and that is National Spaghetti Day. So you could obviously make the kids spaghetti, or maybe you want to make your family spaghetti. Yeah, so that would be fun. And then on the 5th, there's a lot going on this week. On the 5th, which is the 5th Friday? I'm looking. The 5th is Friday. It is National Bird Day. So maybe you want to think about reading a story to the kids about birds, and especially if it explains different types of birds, or if it's a story that the main character is a bird. That would be a fun way to celebrate that day. And I think there's even a book or a story about spaghetti. So you might want to see if there's if you want to, if that's in your library, you want to maybe read a story like that to the kids. That would be fun too. Let's see. I thought I saw someone. Okay, no. Okay, I can see the comments today. Can't believe it. Okay, last thing. On the 6th, which is actually Saturday, But I guess you could maybe celebrate this on Friday as well. It is National Bean Day. So, if you're trying to incorporate beans into the menu this week, Friday would be a great day, or Saturday, if you have the kids, would be a great day. It is National Bean Day on Saturday the 6th. So, that is it for what's going on this week. Okay, let's get into some questions, okay? I don't know what it is. I'm a little lagging today. I think I'm not really. It's kind of hard to start the new year at the beginning of a week. You know what I mean? I think it would be good if it was like at the end of the week or over the weekend, because I'm not inspired to do anything. It was really hard. I was off. Everyone was off, I guess, on the 1st, right? But yesterday, the 2nd, it's hard to get back in the swing of things after the holidays, and with it being kind of, at least that throws me off. I don't know. Does that throw you off? Let me know in the comments how long it takes you to get back into your normal flow after the holidays. But I do see myself struggling a little this week. So next week will probably be my actual beginning of the year as far as work goes. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to get into a couple of questions that we got here today. But before I do that, I've been asking you a question from me every week. And the question this week is, it's very timely, just about what I was talking about a moment ago, but what resolutions or goals do you have for your business in 2024? So, like I said, most of us don't even want to use the word resolutions anymore, but goals, we usually don't have a problem setting goals and setting deadlines and things like that. So I don't know if you've thought about it. I mean, this kind of goes along with doing the annual review and getting a planner and using the planner to help you set out your goals and then set out a plan to accomplish them for 2024. So let me know in the chat, in the comments, what your goals are for this year. Hi, good morning, Denitra. Denitra Scott's joining us today. Good morning. Yeah, let me know in the comments what goals you have for your business for this new year, and let me know if there are goals that you had last year that you just didn't accomplish, or if there's goals that these are new goals for 2024. Maybe you're just starting your business in 2024, or you have a date that you're going to be starting your business this year. Go ahead and put that in the chat or in the comments and let me know what's going on for you and your business for 2024. Okay, so on to the questions. All right, so the first question is, it says, hi Adrienne, just for some context, I have a child whose contracted hours are from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., but he's typically picked up earlier. Unfortunately, our new employee is relying on this early pickup, which isn't guaranteed. Last week, she became impatient. Keep in mind, she was still on the clock, and I had to rush back to the daycare to stay with the child so she could leave. Yesterday, she again questioned when the child would be picked up while on the clock. She was on the clock. After informing her that it would be as late as 7 p.m., she interrupted me, demanded an estimated time, and was actually talking over me. I hung up and drove back to the daycare. Then she accused me of being rude and unprofessional. As someone who is new to management, I'm not sure how to handle this situation. How would you suggest dealing with this? Okay, well, before I get into how I would deal with this, what would you say? What would you say to this provider? How would you advise her to handle this situation with this employee? She says the employee is new. I'm gonna take for granted that she has explained to the employee the hours that this child is there. But honestly, it doesn't even matter. she's supposed to be there. Obviously, these are her working hours that she is supposed to be covering at the childcare. And it sounds like this is a center-based program as opposed to a home-based program. So I don't know if she's the owner or if she's the director, if this provider is the owner or director, had to come back and take over for this employee. If this, well, whether or not this is in her 30, if she's a new employee and this is within her probation period, presuming you have one, I would dismiss her. And I know that I'm saying that in a climate where it's hard to find good employees, but this ain't one, okay? And even if this isn't, even if she's past her probation, I would still write her up, explain to her. I mean, you have to go with the labor laws that I don't know where she's located that are in your state or your area, province. But it doesn't sound like this is a good fit for her, especially the later hours. So she might come to the conclusion that she doesn't belong there anyway. But yeah, this is not going to work out unless she has a change of mindset. But as the director, and even if you happen to be in a smaller program or a home-based program, if you've had to deal with an employee that just wasn't a good fit, it's difficult. I know. I've been there. But you're not doing yourself, your business, your clients any favors by keeping someone who is handling this situation like this employed. And the reason, I mean, you have to think, like I was talking about earlier, you have to think about beyond what you're dealing with this employee. If this employee has an attitude about working her whole shift and being there late, imagine how she is coming across to your client when if you're not there. Not to mention the fact that if she's talking to you and being insubordinate, coming in as a new employee, how can you can imagine this not going very well throughout her tenure for being there. So now Denitra says she has a different perspective. So Denitra, please expand. But I will finish. I think, well, okay, so I want to, now that she said that, I want to think about what I just said. But I still stand by what I said. Now, if you have explained her hours, if you've done that and this has remained an issue because she said that she had spoken to the employee before, then I think that at some point it is going to be time to move on from this employee. And not to mention the toxic environment that it might create for any other staff that you have there. But let's see what Denitra has to say about it. Let's see, let me see. Did she put, okay, I guess she's probably typing. Let me know when you're done, Denitra, or I'll see it come up. But yeah, however, this is a good time to think about how you would handle this moving forward. Because unfortunately, this might not be the last time that you have to deal with an employee that ultimately shows themselves to not be a good fit for your business, okay? And I'm not saying that this person wouldn't be a good teacher or assistant or whatever her role is in another setting, but maybe these hours don't work for her. Maybe that's something that you can consider if you have another employee that might be willing to change the shift or something like that. let's see. Denitra says a conversation with the goal of understanding root reasons for this behavior needs to be had. Some people need certainty. Okay, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I didn't think about that. So what she's saying is having a sit down with this employee and going in with a positive mindset when you're talking to your staff is key, because this could be upsetting to you. It would be upsetting to me. You've left, you have to come back. But for me, I know I need to put space and time between conversations, difficult conversations too, so that I can get my thoughts together, so I can say what I want to say. So if you need to do something like that, that would be good. But she's saying whatever you need to do to go into the conversation with this employee, having a positive outcome in mind. Okay, so not having it be a negative thing that you're expecting to happen. Okay, so that's good. That's really good. She said an employee challenging their employer isn't always insubordination. Okay. I would disagree if this person is saying to this director that she's being rude and unprofessional. I think that's insubordinate. But I guess that's what do you call it? Subjective. She said she wish she could go live with me. I think there's a way that you can, Denitra. I do. Let me see if I can do anything here to help you go live. Oh, and she's saying I got it wrong. And not necessarily a positive attitude when you're talking to the employee, but a curious one. I would argue that it might be good to try and be positive, so that it doesn't get adversarial. But she's saying to listen to her. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe you're not hearing her, and maybe this is something that she ultimately didn't agree to do. That could be as well. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that perspective. I do. Okay, so to recap, I do agree with Denitra. I do. I do agree that a conversation needs to be had, and it can be beneficial for both parties. But again, it could get to the point where this is not a good fit for either party. And think about how you would handle a situation with an employee that something similar happened, where they don't want to finish their shift, or they are upset about having to stay late in this case. And then, like Denitra was saying, listen to them. Listen. I think a lot of times, I know I'm guilty of this too. A lot of times we think that we have expressed ourselves, we have stated something, or we think it's obvious, when in fact we really haven't covered it and spoken about it to whoever needs to know. So, sorry, I'm trying to keep my laptop awake. So Denitra thinks that maybe this provider is not, whether you can adjust your mindset to go in positive or curious or both. You need to sit down with this employee and see what the true issue is, and whether or not you both can move forward with her in this role. Okay, that would be my best advice. If you have some other advice, please come in like Denitra did there and leave a comment in whether or not, or in the chat here live, or in the comments, and you're catching this on replay, and let us know, how would you handle this? What would you say to this provider? Do you lean more toward this being indicative of about how this is going to go in the future? Or do you think that there might be room for some clarification with the employee, and maybe there's something else that can be done here without terminating? Please let me know. Let me know in the comments, and let me know in the chat. Okay? All right. Oh, one more comment from Ginger. She said, we value compliant employees. The minute they challenge us, we want to fire and accuse them of them being the problem. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. I also think, I want to say here, what is your vetting process? How did you decide that this employee was a good fit? Or did you just need a warm body? Like I said before when I started, I know it's hard in this climate to find good employees. Did you vet this person? Is this the type of person that you want for your business? I understand what Denitra is saying. This is true. We don't want them to challenge us, and that's not a good mindset to be in, because they can help us understand things about our business. They can help us understand things about whatever issue we're dealing with. I just have to, I always turn things in on myself to see how I, and this is what Denitra is saying as well, how I'm being, what is it? I can't think of the word. How I'm contributing to the situation. Okay? Either something I didn't do, something I should have done, something I didn't know to do. I mean, it's good to be introspective, right? So she's saying maybe it's not a vetting process, maybe it's something else. So she's gonna go live about this soon. Yeah, I think this would be a good one to talk about, because we need employees to run our business. We do. And although I think you should be always picking the most qualified people and the people that are a good fit for your business, so that perhaps you don't have as many issues, it's not reasonable to think that these people are not going to be going through something in their life that might show up in the workplace, and that you should maybe investigate and be curious about what they're going through, and understand that maybe there's a different way to handle something. Okay? All right. So let me move on to the next question. Thank you, Denitra, for your input. I appreciate that. I do. I don't have a problem with people having a different opinion than me. And I'm not the only provider in the room, so that's why I invite your opinion as well. Maybe you've had a situation like this. How did you handle it? And do you think that now you would handle it differently? Please come back and let us know in the chat. Okay? All right. The next question. It says, hi, Adrian. I'm in a difficult situation. Our enrollment numbers are so low that we may not be able to meet payroll soon. I predict that I only have about 2 more cycles before I'm out of funds. I've attempted to secure a loan, but it doesn't seem like the best solution, because taking on debt when the end result will likely be the same is not a good option. I feel helpless in this situation, as my staff are all wonderful people and I don't want to let them down. Okay, well, we've talked several times on the show about this climate that we're in, and while there seems to be money floating around everywhere, it's not that way for everyone and everyone's business. And a lot of businesses, a lot of childcare businesses are suffering. A lot of this again sounds like a center-based program that she's referring to in this question. But a lot of at-home providers with the universal pre-K are feeling this pain as well. And Demetria, if you're still there, please chime in on this. But in this situation, you are in, I want to say, not even in survival mode. You are in hair on fire mode. And before I get into it, I want to say that I understand this, both business-wise and personally, okay? I am typically a pretty private person. I do like talking to people, but not so much about myself, not so much about too many details. But I can relate. I can relate to going through situations where you make it through, let's say you make it through payroll this week. And that seems like a relief, but it's really not, because you're worried about, okay, what about next week? What about next month? And being so panic stricken that you can't think. You can't think of something else to do. Okay? I'm going to suggest some things, and I hope that if you're joining me here live, or if you catch this on replay, you can come in and also provide some input on this, because I think there's a lot of people going through this now, and you can feel helpless. I mean, she even said that. She said she feels helpless. You don't know what to do. You are absolutely at your wits' end, and you're stressed. Demetria said it's too hard to type her responses. I know, we're gonna have to figure out how to bring you on live. I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out later, and maybe we can talk about this again on another show. But for this question, I'm gonna suggest some things, and these aren't the only things. I don't want to say that these are the only things you can do, but hopefully this will get your mind going. So if you're in this situation, or if you're this provider and you're catching this, start thinking out of the box, okay? Start thinking fundraisers, okay? Like I said, I'm pretty private, but in this situation with your business is at stake, right? So start talking to your parents. You might be able to get some ideas for them, but start thinking about doing fundraisers with the parents. Start thinking about doing fundraisers in your community. Okay? Stress the fact that childcare is needed. We know this going through the pandemic and the years that follow. It's been a hot topic for a while now, as it should be. So your business is very necessary in your community. Okay? So start thinking about reaching out to the community and seeing if there's some program that might help support your business. Consider a GoFundMe, right? Sometimes we don't think about these things, but there's people in this world that don't mind helping good people. And especially when you're talking about caring for young children and keeping a business that you have probably dreamed about afloat, they would not mind propping that up. You see it on the news all the time when people get into issues where it's been something bad that's happened to them. Someone else can set up a GoFundMe. I set up a GoFundMe for a friend of mine that was a provider years ago, and people reached out. People showed up. So think about doing a GoFundMe. Let's see. I don't ever want to tell you to do anything illegal. I don't. So I won't. But talk to your family. Talk to your family and see if they can give you some out-of-the-box suggestions to help with saving the business. Because you're very close. You said you're 2 cycles away from not having any money for payroll. And as much as you love your people, you know that they probably can't stay if they're not going to get paid. Something that I mentioned, I think, around Black Friday. Depending on, I don't know where you're located, I don't know what the demographic is where you are, but think about maybe offering to your parents an annual rate that may be too good to pass up, or maybe a quarterly rate that might be too good to pass up. And no, I always get pushback because no, not every family is going to be able to take advantage of that. That's true. But there may be one or two that is able to go and pull from whatever fund at their job, and pay that annual rate to get your cash flow going. And let me see. Demetra said, "Don't keep it a secret." What are you talking about? What am I keeping a secret? Maybe she means, my bad. She's talking about this provider. Don't keep it a secret what you're going through is what she's saying. And that's so true. This is, it seems like it probably feels like it's a personal thing, but this is a business, okay? We've seen businesses over the years, I'm sure that you've gone to in the past, and they went out of business. And usually before that happens, they file a chapter, what is it, chapter 13? Is that what it is? Chapter 11, chapter 13? I don't know. To try and save the business, but typically it still goes that way. But the fact of the matter is that it, and then I've seen some that rebounded. I can't think of the name of one. We actually had a local business here in our community. My husband and I are big pizza aficionados, and we like to go to the smaller pizzerias and so forth. And there's one that's not too far from our house, and it's just pizza and beer, and they have a brewery there. Anyway, they were going to go out of business, and I think it was around this time last year, and they announced it to the community, and they announced it on social media, and people showed up. They saved that business. Now, I think it was more of a management issue, because that, and then you never really know what's going on with the business, right? But that place was always packed. I mean, you couldn't even park on the street. That's how busy that business was. So I think they had some financial strategies they needed to figure out when it came to management. But the fact is, what Denitra is saying right here, that's what they did. They let their community know, hey, we're drowning. We're not going to be here anymore. And they even started cutting back on their menu. They cut back on their hours. But their people showed up. We showed up and propped that business up. And it's still around. So same thing here. When you maybe in a situation like this, or maybe it isn't this dire, maybe you just, your numbers are so low that you're starting to get concerned. Let your clients know you're looking for more clients. They're not thinking about it most of the time. It's not their business. They may not be thinking about it. I did have clients over the years that couldn't wait to spread the word about my business, and I so appreciated them. I think I've told the story here before about one client that worked at a local business. She, whenever someone in the office said anything about the need for childcare, she jumped up, and she was at the water cooler giving them the lowdown why they should come to Miss A's childcare. And I actually got 8 clients from that one client over the years. So word of mouth is still very powerful. I will admit that and stand on that any day. I don't think it's the only thing you should do to market your business, but when you have a good relationship with your clients, they can spread the word. And when you're talking about a home-based childcare or even a center-based childcare, someone in the community that's out there that loves to talk to people and can get the word out about your business, it can make a huge difference. So what she's saying here is, don't keep it a secret, okay? Do not suffer alone. There might be somebody, you never know. I was watching a story on I think it's Sunday morning. It was like a few weeks ago. And I don't know if it was a recap from an earlier story in the year, at the end of the year or not. But there was this man who was reaching out to businesses, and it was nonprofit businesses or businesses that were care based or community oriented and those kind of businesses, and he was giving them $1 million. Was it $1 million? Some huge amount. Okay, I think it was like $1 million. And he had a list of people of businesses that he was calling to offer them, no strings attached, this money. He said, and this was the attorney for the person, the philanthropist that was putting up these funds. This was the attorney. Turns out this man, it was just an average man, the philanthropist, average man who was just super thrifty his whole life. So he had amassed this huge fortune. He never married, never had any kids, and when he died, he left instructions for his fortune to be split among these type of businesses. So this was the attorney reaching out to these businesses. He said in the piece how many people hung up on him, and they missed out. If they saw this piece like I did, they probably were like sick. But you never know what support is out there for you. So reaching out with a GoFundMe, reaching out with your clients in your community, with other businesses, and letting them know what the situation is and how you're trying to basically save your business could mean huge, could mean an unexpected windfall, an unexpected occurrence, right? So let's see what Denitra said. No, Helena. Hi, Helena. Helena Tolar Hortman. Thank you for joining me today, Helena. Helena says, I give $100 credit for referrals that enrolled. That may seem a lot, but you get way more than that for having the family in care. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And now let's take that one step further, because you might be thinking, well, I'm already in financial trouble. What am I doing giving $100 to as a referral fee or a finder's fee, like Helena's talking about? Here's the thing. You can take that off of somebody's tuition. You can offer to give them a gift card after the new family has been enrolled for, I don't know, a month or two or whatever. You can set this up the way it works for you if you don't have the outlay. But she's saying, first of all, she's saying she gives them credit. So she just credits the other family, whoever referred them. Like when I was just saying that I got 8 clients from this one client. That's what I should have done with her. I think I did have some kind of referral system back then, but I can't remember. But just to take it off of her tuition, and that's a huge incentive for her to continue to go out there and talk to people about your business. So think about these out of the box ways. And I know that a referral sounds like something like pretty pedestrian. Everybody does that, but maybe amp it up. If you have a referral system in place and not too many people are taking advantage of it, announce it in your newsletter. Send a mass text out to your clients and let them know, hey, we're going to do like Helena. We're going to give you $100 credit for your childcare if you refer somebody. Okay? Now, I would pay attention to that. Yes, I would. Especially coming up for Christmas and the holidays. Yeah, that would get my attention. Or, Helena says, or just a basket of goodies. How about, I don't know, I hope that you guys have really great clients. I did have really great clients to the point where every year, and I don't know if it got out, that my husband would once a year for our anniversary buy me a gift card to a spa day. I don't know if I mentioned that to somebody, but there was one point where every year I was getting a gift certificate to this one spa, and it's sort of prestigious here in California. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but anyway, I would get these gift cards. Well, guess what? They sell gift cards at Costco. You can buy this very gift card that I was talking about was available at Costco. And one year, I think I got 3 gift cards. I still have some of them, and you know what? I'm going to start using them because my family comes for me, and they want me to give them my gift cards. So I'm going to start using them. But Denitra says, I had a family that, due to referral credits, only paid $50 a week for 5 weeks. That means they sent her a lot of business. Can you imagine being that family going and was saying, you're going to make far more money than what you give back or what you reduce their rate to be? Now, there's going to be providers that are going to come for me right now. We do enough. My rate doesn't need to change. Well, if you're full, then you're fine. These people are not full. These people are about to go out of business. So why not try it? Right? Let's save your business. Let's not stand on principle right now. You can always change your referral program later. You can always reduce it when your numbers get high or when you don't have any spots or whatever the situation is. It's your business, like I said at the top of the show. But right now, you are in hair on fire mode, okay? I would suggest listening. Sometimes when somebody gives me good advice, I'll listen to it like over and over and over again, so that I get every detail and it gets stuck in my head. It gets embedded in my head. Listen to this episode again and again and again and again, and all these different strategies. Implement one every single week of this month, okay? And if you're in this provider situation, I would say implement one of these every single day, okay? It's not that hard to do. You can even put out an ad in the free ads that wherever you advertise your business, to say great referral program. Put $signs up. Go into your Facebook group, and I'm talking about the one or the Facebook page for your business. Let them know that you just changed 2024. You have a new referral program. Okay, that's one way to go. Let's see. Helena says, I give gift baskets to other people who refer me, such as from businesses, and the parents enroll and attend. It helps to keep my name out there. I want to make sure I got this right. I give gift baskets to other people who refer me, such as from businesses. Okay, so I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Helena, I think she's saying she gives gift baskets out to the businesses that refer her. That's another thing. I have a post, and I will go find it, and I'll leave a link to this, that has several of these strategies in them. One of them is to go into the businesses, maybe the boutique shops that are for the baby shops, and see if they would allow you to leave your business card or a flyer, or maybe you want to do like what Helena said, set up a referral system with them. They can take $100 too. Helena said yes, or the individual from the business. Exactly. Get creative. Okay, now is the time to pull out all the stops and get as creative as possible. You're trying to save your business, and you're trying to save your employees' jobs. And that, see, it's not just you. It's not just the one thing. It affects so many other things. It affects your employees. If you go out of business, it affects you, obviously. It affects your employees. It affects your clients. They're going to have to go and find a new care provider or a new childcare situation, right? So we want to save your business. You want to save your business. Go crazy, okay? Let everybody know, like Denitra said, try some of these great ideas Helena has suggested. Helena says, don't advertise it, just do it. She's gone full Nike on us. Just do it. Exactly. Exactly. Go into the mommy groups on Facebook. See if who's looking. Don't. Denitra always warns me. Don't go in there all hardcore and you got to come to my business. But there might be somebody in there who's looking for childcare. It's the beginning of the year. Okay. Start answering some questions in there when you have time. Okay. And they'll figure out, they'll follow the breadcrumbs. I can't tell you how many people have followed breadcrumbs back to my business. But the point is, several strategies. Okay, whatever you're doing now is not enough, obviously. Several strategies. Okay, set up the GoFundMe, amp up your referral program, talk to your clients. Yeah, go big, go big. Okay, so that you don't have to go home. Anyway. All right, so we are going to end on time. Thank you so much, Denitra. Thank you so much, Helena. I appreciate your input and feedback, and I know that this provider will as well as anybody else who might be going through this or might think that they might be faced with this in 2024. Let's start now so that you don't get there, okay? There's several different things that you probably haven't tried. And why not try? Why not try? If you are in this situation, it's time to try. It's time to try something new. Okay, we're in the beginning of the year. I just asked you what your goals were for this year. I'm gonna come back on the page this week and ask the question of what we're not doing this year. Okay, what we are not doing, and I have a big one for myself that I am not gonna be doing anymore. But one thing is, we are going to be open, or I'm going to be open to listening to other ways of doing things, because sometimes we get stuck in our own way. I've seen that so many times with people. I talk to and counsel so many different businesswomen who are in their own way. And it's just a mindset thing. So before I let you go here today, I just want you to start thinking about what you want for your business this year and how you're going to achieve it. Not a resolution, a goal with a plan. That is more likely to actually come to fruition. Okay? All right. So that is it for the questions today. Let me just remind you, if you have a question that you would like me to feature here on the show, then you can leave your question early. You don't have to be on the show to leave your question. Just go to thrivingchildcare.com/what's your question. That's thrivingchildcare.com/what's your question. I'll leave a link to that in the show notes. And you can leave your question there for next week, and I'll answer it on the show. Okay? Thank you again so much for joining me. And if you're catching this on replay, I want to thank you as well. I look forward to continuing this journey with you in 2024 now. And I will see you next week. Until then, keep thriving. Bye-bye.